Okay, when I'm studying in school, for example, when I'm studying in 7th standard or 8th standard, I don't know about the knowledge on internet. So even I doesn't know what is meant by internet. So someone if asked me means I will say I don't know. Okay, so when I'm studying 11th and 12th standard, slowly the internet came to India. Okay, I started to work on the internet. Okay, so the demand of internet on today life. So I can able to see when I'm studying the school how the internet was played in my life. When I'm studying in college, how the internet was played in my life, and now how internet was played in my life. Okay, it's dramatically changing. Okay, and as it was growing. Okay, so you can say the internet was ruling the world. Is it right? Internet is everything. Yes. So instead of saying IoT, Internet of Things, we can say IoE also. So internet is everything. Okay? So internet is nothing but connecting the system to the network, and network was interconnected with all over the world with some protocols. Okay. So next, what is meant by IoT? So the abbreviation of the IoT is nothing but Internet of Things. Okay. Some people asked to me, what's the things referred to that? Can anyone answer, ma'am? So what is IoT? So Internet of Things. Internet of Things is nothing but I thought connecting the things to the internet. Okay. What's the word meaning in the things? In IoT, Internet of Things, what the meaning of things? So it is nothing but the device which I was connected to the internet. For example, if I connected my vehicle, car, for example, I'm having a car, so I'm going to connect the car to the internet, means the car is referred there as a thing. Okay. Suppose I'm going to connect my mobile phone to the internet, means that mobile phone is referred as a things there. So Internet of Things is that nothing but. For example, so this is a basic definition which I got from the internet. So Internet of Things is something that, but again, connecting the things to the internet and sharing the data between the devices. Okay. So when I started my career 2016, I later on analyzed. So IoT is split into 4 main parts. Okay. So IoT is nothing but it was according to my knowledge, according to my experience. I will split. Not I didn't study from the internet. According to my experience, I will split IoT into 4 main parts. Okay. So first main part is connecting the things to the internet. Okay. So first basic thing of the IoT is nothing but you have to connect any device to the internet. Okay. You can connect your car, you can connect your vehicle. Even me, I am connected to internet. Okay. Even nowadays the temple was connected to the internet, and Wonderful Zoo, one of my friend, Wonderful Zoo was connected to the internet. Every device was connected to them. This is the first basic things. Okay. So in 1990 or in 2000, I thought only system should connect it to the internet. Okay. So only PCs or laptops or desktops is possible to connect to the internet. But later on, every device was connected to the internet. So the first point of the IoT is nothing but connecting the things to the internet. Okay. So next, the second point. So second point is data sharing. So I'm going to connect some devices to the internet, and so I'm going to connect some devices to the internet, and the data was shared between the devices. Okay, sharing the data between the devices. For example, if we connect book a cab in Uber, and the data will be shared from the vehicle for mobile. Okay, I'm going to book a cab in Ola, so I can able to monitor where the car is coming. Okay, so and one more thing, when I book red bus, for example, I'm going to Madurai from Madurai. I'll give a automatic call. It will say going to kid. Please wake. It's a wake up. How it happened? The GPS was coming.
Balaji sir, your voice is breaking.
Okay, ma'am. Now, ma'am.
Sir. It's breaking, sir. No, sir, can't able to hear.
Now it's audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. I'm sorry, the internet is very slow. So the third point of the internet is nothing but we can able to control the devices from one devices to another devices. Okay, ma'am? You can see some ad is there. So from using our mobile phone, we can able to switch on the Wi-Fi, switch on the AC. So the third point is connecting the controlling the things between the devices. Okay, and the fourth main point which I learned from the IoT is nothing but the collection of data. So what's the use of the connecting the things to the internet? There is no use. Okay, so the main purpose, the main how can we say, the main aim of the IoT is to collect the data from the device which was connected to the internet. That's a basic concept of IoT. So IoT is split into
Balaji, sorry to interrupt. We are seeing that what is IoT is the PPT that we are seeing, the slide. Are you explaining this slide or another slide you are explaining?
Just I moved it. Now, sir?
Now it is good.
Yeah, okay.
It is moving now. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. So the IoT is split into four main parts according to my view. So the first point is nothing but I have to connect any device to the internet. So it's the first basic things. Okay. Second things, the data sharing between the devices. So the sharing the data between the devices automatically without the manual interrupt. Okay. And then the third point is nothing but the controlling the device from one device to another device. And then fourth main part is the collection of data. It's very important point in IoT. So you have to collect the data from the device which was connected to the internet. Okay, I can say one more example on this. So I can ask, everyone is using your smartphone, I'm right? So even school children are also using their smartphones. Okay, in your smartphones you can able to find some Google products that are absolutely free. So like our Gmail is free, Google Chrome is free, Google Maps is free, Google Duo is free, and these apps are completely absolutely free. So nowadays when you buy new mobile, buy a smartphone, means these apps are coming in inbuilt. Okay, you don't need to install. These apps are completely absolutely free for you. So why the Google is giving the free as these apps? Okay, so when I thought that when I'm studying in college, okay, when I'm first time when I created Gmail, I thought how the Google was running the money. So I thought that if I want to use Google product, for example, I want to use Google Gmail or Google Drive or Google Maps, I have to put the internet. I need to put the internet connections. Okay, so I thought that my network provider will pay to the Google. That's my first view. Okay, so when I'm using Google means I will consume some MB of data. Okay, so I thought my network provider will pay the money to the Google. Okay, later on the Geo company entered into the market. Okay, so the Geo company gives at least gives the data for 1 year completely free. So so my thought is became fail in that. Okay, so how the Google was running generating the money? So completely connecting of data. Okay, so when I'm using the mobile phone, they will collect the data from me and they will sell the data to the other companies. So that's the main aim of the IoT. So history of IoT. So when I'm speaking about the history of IoT, so everyone know about Kevin. So Kevin Ashton is the father of the IoT. The term IoT was coined in the year of 1999. Actually, Kevin was working in the RFID technology. So I think everyone in the college, even when I'm studying my college, I'm using the barcode technology to take the books from the library. So nowadays the colleges are switching to the RFID technology. Even our ID card will contain some ID card number. Okay, it's an RFID card. So RFID card will contain some unique number for individual IDs. Okay, so Kevin was working in IoT technology. Kevin was working with the RFID technology. He thought one day that instead of collecting only the identification number, why can't we collect some other data from the user? Why can't we collect some other data from the user? That's the main motive to become the IoT popular. Okay. So next, actually, when you're speaking about IoT technology, so first thing is communication. For IoT, in IoT, the communication systems we are using was Wi-Fi, Zigbee, GSM, etc. Okay, so there are some more technologies used in the IoT. So first, basic things of the communication for the IoT devices is nothing but Wi-Fi. So I can able to connect my Wi-Fi device with the laptop. Okay, so even my mobile was connected with the Wi-Fi to the laptop. Okay, then addressability. So what is meant by addressability? Addressability is nothing but the address of an particular product. Okay, so is the ability, or else I can say addressability is nothing that ability of the digital device to individually respond to the message sent to many similar devices. Okay, for example, we can type in URL. So what's the use of the URL? Uniform response identification. Okay, so URL nothing but when I'm typing www.google.com, so www.gmail.com, www.infosyn.com, so it's an address for the particular websites. Okay, so similarly, if I tag a particular address for devices, means I can able to connect the device to the internet. Okay, so third point, sensing. So what's the use of the sensing? Sensing is nothing but the connecting the sensors to the internet. For example, so I will give some examples for sensing. So home security service. Some security service offers as well. Home. Hello? Yeah. So third point, communication and addressability and identification. Identification is nothing but you need to identify the devices where the data was coming. Okay. Fourth point is sensing. So sensing is nothing but the device. Some sensors was interfaced with the devices. For example, we have some variable device you can be able to find. Okay, for variable watches. Okay, some that variable watches will contain the pulse sensors or temperature sensors. So it will connect the data of temperature of your body, or it will connect the pulses of your body. Okay, and it will transfer to the cloud. Okay, and then embedded information. So this informations are all embedded to the particular device. Then fourth main part is user interface. So user interface nothing but how the user can able to see the output of the embedded that IoT products. So this is the working principle of IoT. So first technology was introduced as an RFID technology. From RFID technology, it was moved to with sensors. So RFID is nothing but that it's an identification number. Okay, each and every card has an individual ID number. So from that ID number, they have added the sensor data. From that individual sensor data, they have moved to smart technology and nanotechnology. This is a structure of an IoT. So structure of the IoT is nothing but there are 3 points. So tagging the things, as I said first, we need to connect the devices to the internet. So tagging the things, and then you need to field the things. That means you want to collect some data from the things, and then thinking the things. This will include the AI. Okay, so it will think the things itself. It think. Okay, so the device itself it think whether it's right or wrong, and it will take an own decision. It's a main part in the IoT. So these are the 3 things which is a structure, as a structure of design for the IoT. So this is a basic current status of the future of IoT. So in 1999, before that 2003 or something, only laptops and desktops are connected to the internet. Okay, slowly it was increased. Okay, in today life, each and every person is carrying their own smartphones. Okay, that smartphones also connect to the internet. Okay, in 2020 there are expected to 50 billion devices are connected to internet, but nowadays it was increased to more than 70 billion. Yesterday I studied about an article. They said more than 70 billion devices all over the world was connected to the internet. So some few applications of the internet. So building and home automation, manufacturing, medical and healthcare system, media, environment monitoring, infrastructure management, transport. So Internet of Things. I heard that word Internet of Things in India. So our government, Narendra Modi became Prime Minister. When he became the Prime Minister, the main aim of our Prime Minister is nothing but the digital India in 2014. So after the government, Indian government announced many projects in internet. So using the IoT. After that only IoT has become popular in India. Okay, I'll start how to start with IoT because I didn't. My introduction was again poor, showing your network connectivity was poor. I'll share some codings with you all. Okay, so how to start with your IoT? Hope everyone knows about IoT, but a little bit I will say how to start with the IoT. Okay, so even if you spend 400 rupees in today means you can do your mini project in IoT. Okay, so first. So these are the mini project we can able to do: temperature monitoring, Wi-Fi range analysis, controlling monitoring the home applications. These are the 3 mini projects which I suggest to the students. When you start beginning with the IoT projects means you can able to do these 3 products. So before going to the IoT, so IoT is nothing but, as I said, it's a collection of data. It's an embedded system. As my point, I will say IoT is nothing but the child of an embedded system. So when I started working with an embedded system and later on I switched to the IoT. So I thought when IoT is nothing but data was how can I say? So embedded product is nothing but it's an like your printer, okay, printer and your AC, your washing machines. These are all called as an embedded product. Okay, so when you pass the data from the embedded product to server or cloud, it's known as an IoT product. That's all. Okay, if I'm switching my AC in my room itself, by using the AC remote, if I'm switching the AC means it's called as an embedded product. If I'm switching the AC in from Madurai or some other area through the remote area using the internet means it's called as an IoT product. So okay, so I thought actually I studied in the EC department, so I'll little bit given about electronics. So what's meant by so actually without electronics or without embedded product, I can't able to do any IoT product. So IoT product, when I'm going to do the IoT product, means at least I need over 50% of hardware components. At least I need a 50% of embedded products. So using the embedded products only, we can able to do the IoT product. Okay. For that, you have to have some basic knowledge in electronics. So electronics is a word derived from electron mechanism. So electronics, the word is nothing but it's known as an electron mechanism, which means the study of bigger of an electron in an atom. This is a basic definition for electrons. Hope some CC and EEE staffs will be there. So this is a basic definition on the electronics. Okay. So when I completed I completed my BE degree in 2018 and 2008 I completed my BE degree in Adi Prashakti Mainmulu College. When I attended my first interview in HSL, the HR asked me this question: what's the definition for electronics? At that time, I don't know. I said, sorry, sir, I don't know about the answer. So later on, I studied about what's meant by electronics. So this is the basics of electronics. So this is the embedded system. Okay, why I'm saying about the embedded system means, so you need some, at least you need some basic concept in embedded system. That's why I'm discussing about it. So embedded system is nothing but it's a combination of hardware and software. Okay, so basic definition for embedded system is nothing but it's a combination of hardware and software. So or else we can say like this: software is merged with your hardware. I can able to say like this: software is merged with the hardware, like your samosa or and so this is a basic definition for an embedded system. Either if you search it in Google means you can able to find these two definitions. So embedded system is nothing but combination of hardware, software, or software is merged with hardware. Okay, according to my view, I will say embedded system is in study of microcontroller. Okay, so embedded system is nothing but, according to my view, I will say it's a study about the microcontroller. Okay, so what's meant by a microcontroller? It's an heart of an IoT product. So without a microcontroller, you can't able to design any IoT product. Okay, so if you're going to do any simple project, means for a mini project, means at least you need one microcontroller help for doing the IoT product. Okay, so microcontroller is the heart of the IoT product. Okay, so it will act as what microcontroller will do in IoT product. It will collect the data from the sensors and it will pass it to the controller. Okay, so I'll make some code in the microcontroller. So these are some famous microcontroller you have heard. So microchip, ATAL, ARM, Arduino, and Raspberry Pi. So these are some basics microcontroller which are landed in India. So apart from these controllers, there are many microcontrollers available in the market. Like similarly, you can say like your smartphones, company names. So there are Nokia company, Samsung company, and Vivo, Oppo. There are lots of companies available for lots of mobile manufacturers available in the market. Similarly, there are lots of microcontroller manufacturers also available in the market. So some of the famous controllers in India are, these are some famous controls in India. So Microchip is one of the first company who launched the microcontroller in India, and ATAL and ARM and Arduino, Raspberry Pi. So the Raspberry Pi is the most advanced microprocessor. Okay, so Raspberry Pi is nothing but a system on a chip. So what are you doing with your desktop or what are you doing with the laptop? You can able to do the same thing in Raspberry Pi also. Okay, so I will suggest to the students, when you're going to kickstart with IoT or when you're going to work with IoT, I will suggest my students to start with the Arduino board. Okay, so Arduino board is very, very easy and it's a very open source board. Okay, so I will suggest, if suppose the students belongs to EC or EEE department, means I will suggest the students to start with the microchip or ATAL. If the students belongs to CEC IT department, means I will suggest them to start with the Arduino. If you have good knowledge in Python, means you can move to the Raspberry Pi. Okay, one more thing I want to add here: there is no specific controller for IoT. There is no specific controller. There till today. Okay, there is no specific microcontroller. So you can't able to work with any controller. Okay, so nothing but you should have some knowledge with the microcontroller. That's all. Okay, you can move to the IoT product to Arduino. If you want to move to the microchip, means you can move. If you want to do your Arduino IoT project in ATAL, means you can do whatever you want. You can do. Okay. So what I'm trying to say means there is no specific controller to do the IoT projects. Okay, you can do with any controller. So these are some basics controllers here. Okay. So among this, Arduino is very easy and very easy to work. Even if you spend 2 days time with in YouTube, means you can learn about the Arduino. That's all. And the Arduino boards are also cheapest board. So this is our Arduino board's pin diagram. Okay, so when I'm showing that Arduino, this board is Arduino Uno board. Okay, there are several types of Arduino boards available in the market, like an Arduino Nano, Arduino Uno board is there, Arduino Mega board is there. Okay, Arduino Lily board is there. Okay, among that, Arduino Uno is very good to work with to kickstart the IoT projects. Okay, so this Arduino board contains 13 digital input output pins. That right side, you can see that 0 to 13 pins are there, no? It's known as a digital input output pins. Okay, from your left side you can see A0 to A5, which is known as an analog pins. Okay, suppose I'm going to connect the digital sensor, means I have to connect with the right side, that means 0 to 13 pins, so it's a digital pins. Okay, so if I'm going to connect the analog sensor, means I can use the left side pins, that A0 to A5. Okay, that ADC was inbuilt here. Okay, so this Arduino Uno uses 16 megahertz crystal oscillator. Okay, and there is a one UART communications. What's the mean by UART communication? Universal asynchronous receiver transmit. Actually, it will say as a USART, universal synchronous asynchronous receiver transmitter, but we will use a UART communication here. Okay, so we will transmit the data from the microcontroller to the IoT board. Okay, so in this Arduino board, one more thing I want to say, the Arduino is not in separate microcontroller. Some people will say that Arduino is a separate microcontroller. Okay, so Arduino is not a separate microcontroller. What they did means they bought the controller from the ATAL company and they built the board for the ATAL microcontroller. Okay, so Arduino is nothing but they are the only they are the outer part is Arduino. Okay, so the inner part, the microcontroller which was fetched into the Arduino board belongs to the ATAL company. So if you buy the Arduino board and if you see that microcontroller means it will named as an ATMEL only. Okay, so this Arduino board uses an ATMEL Atmega 328P controller. Okay, second thing, so there is a need about talk about the Arduino IDE. So everyone knows about the IDE. IDE is nothing but when I'm running the C code means I need a turbo seed to exit the output. I can write, so I can use the code blocks also. So there are several IDs available for the C coding. So similarly, if you buy the microcontroller means there will be a separate IDE for that to write the code. So this is the Arduino board. Okay, so this is an Arduino board which is used to connect the hardwares. Okay, I need to code now. I need to write some coding now. So I need to fetch how the control should be work. So for that I need the Arduino IDE. So this is my Arduino IDE. I will explain how to download the Arduino IDE. And how to work on it.
Balaji, excuse me.
Sir?
Go little bit slow. I think you are going like a Wi-Fi communication. Okay, you are electronic person. You are using little faster communication. There are other people. You are doing wonderful. You are explaining very nicely, beautifully. But go little slow so that all other people will be able to follow.
Okay, fine, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So everyone understand what title I noted. Okay, so what I'll repeat once again. So I need to speak about the controllers. Okay, so once again I'm repeating on slowly. So these are some basic microcontrollers which was available in the market today in India. Okay, so you can able to suppose you're going to kickstart with the IoT project, you're going to work with the IoT project, you're going to start with the IoT project means you can choose any one controller here. Okay, so microcontroller, ARM, and Arduino, Raspberry Pi. These 5 microcontrollers is purely easy to start with the IoT projects. Okay, among these 5 controllers, I will suggest to the Arduino. Okay, and then this is the Arduino IDE. IDE is nothing but it's an internet development environment where you have to write the code on it. Okay, so and then this is a PIC microcontroller. Okay, so it's a PIC nothing programmable interface controller. Okay, it's used 4 to 20 megahertz. Okay, so for the PIC microcontrollers, MPLAB IDE. And this is a Raspberry Pi. Suppose those have good knowledge in Python means you can do the Raspberry. Okay, so if you have not good knowledge in Python programming, you can move to the Raspberry Pi. Raspberry is nothing but a system. It's it's known as a CPU of the logic. Okay, so what's the advantage when compared to other microcontrollers? What's the advantage in Raspberry Pi means it has Wi-Fi, it has internet shield, everything was inbuilt. Okay, no need to add an external peripheral devices to the Raspberry Pi. So one more thing I want to know. Suppose I want to pass the data to the internet. So suppose I'm going to first program. I'm going to do the first project in today. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my first project is I'm going to monitor my room temperature. Okay, this is my first project. I will show the output also today. Okay, so I want to monitor my room temperature. Okay, ma'am. So for that, I'm doing is LM temperature sensor. So I'm going to connect the temperature sensor to Arduino IDE. So Arduino IDE will show the output. Okay, so about the what's the temperature. Okay, so now how I'm going to pass the data from the microcontroller to the server. That's the main. I'm able to connect the temperature sensor and I'm going to pass the data from the micro. So to the internet. There are three possibilities available. So what I'm saying is, I need to use my laptop. Okay. So what are the possibilities? Internet possibilities Wi-Fi to connect Wi-Fi connections. So I need to send a main mail. I need internet connections to connect with internet. I have three possibilities. First part of possibilities connect with the Wi-Fi.
Sir, Balaji sir, your voice is breaking. Balaji sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check now. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, carry on. Sometimes there is a fluctuation. He is in a remote area, so I think sometimes there is a fluctuation. You try to go ahead. Yeah, I hope it will be fine. Right.
Okay, sir. There are three possibilities. Okay, so the first possibility, I need to connect the Wi-Fi connections to the laptop, or I can able to connect with my Ethernet connection to the laptop, or I can use dongle, which is the SIM card. Okay, so when running engineering, I will use the dongle. Using the dongle, I can able to connect the internet to. So these are the three possibilities way to connect the internet to the laptop. Similarly, we can use things Arduino control. So devices. This is a Wi-Fi device is used to connect the audio. Okay.
Balaji, I think your previous one was better. I think you switched to some different hotspot. The first one itself was better. Now it's a
Yes, he'll come back. He'll come back.
Dr. Venkat, can you please call me? So this is one of the disadvantages of relying on the internet, because I guess everybody today, including at everybody's home, at least 3 connections are being used. The kids are attending school, college, you know.
Yes, sir, of course, everybody is attending online classes. So
On top of it, father, mother, grandfather watching tele-serials and movies on the Wi-Fi. You're stuck. You go tell, I was just telling my grandmother, you have to, not watch anything today for the next 5 days. She says, don't worry, you have 100 Mbps, I will still watch.
actually, we are enjoying both pros and cons of digital era.
Yes, madam. And the positive side is people from all over India are able to attend. If this is a one-on-one FDP at Kumbakonam, I don't know how many of you could come down. That is one of the major advantages that I see. Is this electronical disadvantages can always be overcome, not an issue. It's only a matter of time that we all get used to such tools, and with people introducing a lot of new tools for running online sessions. It's very good. I'm very happy to see so many people from different states joining and sharing their knowledge and wanting to know new. It's great. Wow.
Oh,
Sharma. Excellent. Salute to you. Salute to you here in Jammu and Kashmir. Wow. Alirani madam and Sudha madam and SASTRA has done a great job of uniting India. Hats off. I really appreciate this.
Balaji sir is back, I think so. Balaji
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you,
the moment
Deepika
you
ma'am.
start
Yeah,
talking,
Yeah, go ahead.
Balaji,
I think Balaji, you can directly go for the demo.
the screen is
Balaji sir, still we are having some issues.
yeah, hello. Yeah. Ma'am, now it's resolved things. Right, ma'am?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think my screen is visible to all.
Yeah.
Thank you. How to start with Arduino? Okay, I'll teach about to start that. First of all, you need to download the Arduino ID so that you can go to the Arduino website. So you can simply type Iot. Right.
PPT is not there, sir. We can't able to view.
Yep.
Voice is also breaking.
Now, ma'am, open that Arduino
Now it's okay.
ID.
Voice. Please continuously present it so that we can able to.
Okay.
No, sir, it's breaking, sir. It's breaking, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. No, ma'am. I think it's sorry, ma'am.
No, sir, actually it's breaking.
No,
Venkat, sir.
my PPT. Now,
Yeah, let him
sorry, ma'am.
try.
I opened my audio.
You just try, sir. You just try, no problem.
Can you see my screen, ma'am?
No, sir,
Not
the
yet.
screen not visible.
Yeah, now it is coming. Balaji, just focus on explaining, man, with the code. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
visible.
So now the screen is visible to you. I opened the audio ID, right?
Yeah.
So I want to try to say this is an audio ID. Okay.
No, your
So
screen is not
in
visible.
audio ID, when you open the
Balaji, sir, your screen is not visible. You are not presenting your screen.
Japanese, I'm presenting my screen.
It's not visible.
No, ma'am.
No, sir, no, sir.
Yeah, it's coming. It's
Yes,
coming.
sir, it's coming. It's coming.
So this is an Arduino IDE code for Arduino microcontroller. Okay, the code was splitted when you started that with new ID. So there will be file, edit, sketch. Sketch is nothing but the code here. So if you see, you say the Java or means, so what we'll say means it's a sketch is nothing but the coding. Okay, and then tools and help. Okay, so when you move to the file, new project means it will come like this. So the code was split into two parts. First part is void setup part, and second part is void loop part. So I want to explain about how to code for the Arduino IDE. That's all. Okay, how to run the program in Arduino. That's all. I want to saying that. Okay, so when you open the Arduino IDE, it was split in two parts. So void setup and void loop. So void setup is nothing but it's a label for the code. Okay, what are you going to do in the project? It's a setup part. You're setting up all the devices in the void setup part. So and while loop is nothing but your main code to run the project. Okay, so first I will run the project. Time time. So you open the previous programs. So first main start when I'm going to start my program. So when you write the C programs, you will type then hello world. So when I'm going to do my first project in Arduino means I need to do the first coding as a blink. So you will get the LED blink program. That's all. Okay. So this is a pin mode 2, output. That means I'm going to use a second pin as output. Okay. As in the beginning. So on about 0 to 13 digital input output pins. You can use any pins. Okay. So before going to use the particular pin, you need to assign whether you are going to use that pin as a input or output. For example, I'm going to connect the IR sensor with the 4th pin, means the 4th pin is known as a input. Okay. Suppose I'm going to connect the I'm going to connect the load, for example, bulb or water maybe with the 7th pin, means the 7th pin is an output. So okay. So when you're writing the program, first you need to see the pins. What are the pins you are going to do, and which pins you are going to use as an input, and which pins you are going to use as an output. Okay. In this mode. Okay. So pin which is used to declare whether I'm going to use a particular pin as an input or output. Okay. So pin mode 2, output. Okay. That means I am going to use the second pin as an output. Okay. Same. I can say like this. If I type like this, means so suppose pin mode 3, output. That means I'm going to use the second pin as output and third pin as an output. Okay. Or else I can write like this also. So now what I'm saying means, so pin mode 2, output, I'm going to use the second pin as an output, and pin mode 3, output, I'm going to use the third pin as an output, but pin mode 4, input, that means I'm going to use the 4th pin as an input. Okay. Simply you can able to declare from 0 to 13, whatever you can use. But in this project, I'm using only second pin only. So no need of third and fourth pins. So I'm deleting that. Okay. And while loop. Okay. In while loop, digital write 2, high, which means I'm making the second pin as an high. Okay. That means, or else I can able to write this also. 2, 1. That means 5 volt. So what will happen? This data will be written to this pin. Okay. So now what will happen? Digital write 2, 1 means the second pin will be high. Okay. So and then I'm making some delay with 1000. So you had the 1000 milliseconds. 1000 milliseconds is nothing but 1 seconds. Okay. And then digital write 2, low. So I'm making the second pin as a low. And again I'm giving the delay. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm encoding the while loop, so it will keep on moving. So it will keep on run. So what will happen? If each and every second, the second pin will be move as an high and low, high and low, high and low. Okay. Now I need to compile this program. So if I'm going to edit, export, or else you can compile like this also. So using this pin, verify pins. So it will show compile sketch. It's compiling my sketch. So level this
Audible.
Kalachali madam, please mute yourself. Kalachali
Others,
madam,
please mute. Yeah.
So before you're writing program, you have to consider for which board you're writing the program. Okay. So in tools, you can able to find all the Arduino boards. Okay. So Arduino Uno, Arduino Genuine, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mega. So there are lots of Arduino boards available in the market. Okay. So before you're writing to the code, okay, first you need to fix which for you are writing the code. This code Arduino Uno, for that you going to select board as an Arduino Genuine Uno. Okay. I'm going to compile it. So after completion, I will see the output in the Proteus simulation tool. So we are using separate simulation tool to check whether the code is right or not. Okay. So this is our Proteus simulation tool. Okay. So I can able to see this. So in this, nothing but similar tool, right? Simlinks we have like this. So in pick, I'm going to pick the control hardware. I'm going to use the Arduino, ARDUINO Arduino. So Arduino Uno came here. Okay. So I'm going to fix the Arduino Uno here. I think this software will be useful for EC and EEE straps.
Balaji,
Okay.
one small suggestion.
What?
Once you see the
Yes, sir.
screen, you give it about 2-3 seconds for it to load, and then start explaining, because it takes a couple of seconds to load. Now we can see the Arduino board. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So this is a simulation software tool. Okay, so we will use this simulation software for testing our coding. Okay, so this code was compiled, I think so. So done compiling. So it was compiled. Okay, so what it means, it was there is no error in the code. Okay, if suppose I made some error, it means it will say some there is this there. Okay, so in this simulation tool, first I with Arduino. Okay, so I fixed with the Arduino board, and I am going to with an LED bulb. So no need of LED. I think I will teach about that. So right click terminal. Sorry. And then I need this also LED bulbs are available in the market. So I need in green. So I need ground. Right click, place, and ground. So in my code, I will second pin as an output. So I miss the second. Going to connect the LED with the second pin. So here is the second pin. Okay. So this component. So this software. Okay. In the Proteus simulation, you can run with Raspberry Pi. You can run with PIC microcontroller. You can run with ATAL microcontroller, and you can run with Arduino. Okay. So this software is totally different from the Arduino. So what means you have to load the code from the Arduino IDE to the simulation tool. Okay. For that, I'm double clicking the controller. I need to search where the code was paged. Okay. So in the desktop. IoT. So Blink. Okay. And I run the program. So you can see that LED was blinking with 1 second time delay. This is the first basic with the Arduino microcontroller. Okay. So what will happen if I reduce the time period? So suppose or else I will increase the time period. So 3 seconds. Then company. So now you can see this LED is blinking for 1 second time delay, right? So it was blinking with 1 second time delay. Okay, and stop the program and again. So now we see you can able to find that it was blink for 3 seconds. That means the second pin was producing some pulse with low gain. Okay. So the LED was blinking 3 seconds time delay. Okay. So my next program serial data. How to pass the data from the control device. Okay. So how the laptop was connected with your this is nothing but how the laptop was connected with your printer. Okay. Or the data communication between the laptop and printer. So I will explain about the code. This is the basic code. Okay. This code. So void setup serial.begin 9600. Okay, so I'm doing serial communication. Okay, serial communication, and second one is the parallel communication. Okay, I'm going to use the serial communication. So that's which is used for the serial communication. Serial.begin. It will start the serial communication. Okay, 9600 is nothing but the baud. Okay, that means bits per second. How many bits per second I need to transfer the data to the Excel device? Suppose I need to transfer the data from the laptop. Means the baud rate between the laptop and printer is 90. Okay. Similarly, so how many bits per second I have to transfer the data from the microcontroller to Excel? For example, we're going to the GSM. Okay. So how many bits per second I have to transfer the data from the microcontroller to GSM? Okay. I need to specify here 9600 bits per second. I'm going to transfer the data from the microcontroller to the device. Okay. And while loop, the serial print Balaji. So I'm going to print my name. So is nothing my name. I'm going to print Balaji for each and every second. Okay. So when so I will start with the print itself. So now I'm to see the so right click. I'm going to transfer data from the controller to my devices displayed here. Okay, so for that I use pins. So this is a pin 0th and first pin. It's used for data, and the first is to transfer the data. UART communication is placed here. Okay, the UART communication is built with the first pin. 0th pin is used to receive the data of the Excel device and to transfer the data from first pin data to here. Okay. So again, to load the program, double click. Where is my program? So link serial. Here's my program. Okay, when I'm running this name, yeah, Balaji. Nothing but when you're seeing you're using a printf. No. So similarly, instead of printf, I'm going to serial. That's all. If I switch name. So ABC. So now it was named as in Balaji. Instead of Balaji, it's a so I can name program in the ABC. So now what current happening is it was inbuilt here. It was from to the device. There's an extension. Read so this digital sensor, second analog sensor. Show how to get the digital sensor. The digital sensor will be part one. So for example, proximity sensor. Okay, in one section, sensor of the sensor will absent. That's all. It will dots. Okay, so yes or no. Or no, but it's not depends on the nature. When you are using the temperature, it's depends on the nature. It will vary from 0 to 100. It will vary some points. So simple code which is used by the digital sensor. This is a sample code. Whatever sensor you're using digital sensor, this is code. Okay. So I'm going to see the output in the serial letter. That's why I'm using serial.begin 9600. Okay, and then in this program I'm using the second pin as an input. So I'm going to sensor with the second pin. Okay, so this is a void setup program ended. Okay, and then void loop. Okay, so digital read the keyword which is used to read the digital data from the second pin. Okay, so to read the digital data. So whatever maybe you can use a metal sensor, you can use a proximity sensor, you can use a sensor, you may be using. only one register which is to the digital value is nothing but digital read. So this is a register which is used to read the digital data from the pins. Okay, so digital data nothing but read the digital value from the pin and it will be stored in the IR. Okay,
Balaji, excuse me. Sir. Go slow. Number one, go slow, very slow. And because of your network there, it is little bit fluctuating. Like it is like a baud rate is little slow. So go little slow, please. Because of the go little slow, and so that people can follow. We understand that you are in suburban area, remote location, and all those things, but try to go little slow.
Sure, sir.
So you are giving some time to the network to adjust to your bandwidth, because you are going little fast in the serial communication, so it has to adjust for your communication. Just take 2 limit pass and then continue, then people can hear you, because we are getting the messages in chat window that your voice is breaking frequently, because the idea is people should hear what you are saying, and people are not able to hear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to say about how to connect the digital sensor with the Arduino board, whatever it may be. Okay. So output of the digital sensor will be either 0 or 1. Okay, either yes or no. Okay. So I'm using the IR sensor. The output of the IR sensor will be either 0 if the object IR sensor is mostly used for the data. Okay. If the object was present, it will say yes. If the object was not, it means it will say no. So it is named as a 1. Okay, so the simple program to read from sensors. Suppose I'm going to metal sensor with the Arduino board means I'm going to connect the sensor with Arduino board means this. Okay, so in 9600 means I'm going to read the data from the IR sensor and I'm going to pass the data to the laptop. I'm going to use the show in the laptop. I need to pass the data to the laptop. So laptop baud rate is nothing but 9600 bits per second. So I am passing the data from the microcontroller to laptop in the baud rate of 9000 bits per second. And second point, pin mode to input. I'm going to use a second pin as an input. Okay. Suppose you want to use a connect with the 4th pin means you can connect. There is no issue. Suppose you want to connect with the 6th pin means you can connect. There is no issues. Okay. Whatever depends upon your project. How much are you going to use upon circuit? Doing a project means before that you will finalize input and output. Okay, based on the requirement, you need to finalize the pins. Okay, in this project, in the second pin as an input. Okay, so that means I'm going to connect the second pin as an input, either here or sensor. Okay, and then so digital read the keyword is used to read the digital value. So I'm going to connect the metric and the second pin. What it will
Hello,
do
Balaji.
the output of the metric.
Hello, Balaji.
Yes,
your PPT screen is not there actually. No screen is being displayed here, number 1. Number 2, your voice is breaking too much so that we could not get even a message, whatever you would like to say to the participants, we could not able to capture it. So maybe if you go, as Venkat said, if you go very slow, maybe we may be able to capture it. Number 1. Number 2, you please project your screen also, because the screen also now it is not coming. You just check.
Ma'am, actually I'm checking the screen. No?
Oh, no.
Just not checking.
It was there, suddenly it vanished.
Okay, once again I will share the screen.
Yes.
You have one more code to show, right? I think afterwards you are done, right, Balaji?
You have actually the session is really good. You are giving a very good valid input to connect the real time to the internet. So that is really a value input, and you are giving a wonderful demo how it can be connected from the real time to the internet. But it's very difficult to follow because the voice is breaking, no? So be a little bit slow, very slow, so that we will be able to understand.
Yeah, word by word, word by word. Because
Yes.
your nature, Balaji, you are speaking very fast. Your nature, like a wide setup, you're just going very fast. So because of the network fluctuation, and it is also adding more wobbling sound. So you go little slow, one by one, then it is going to be good.
Yes. True.
Okay, fine, sir.
Slow.
Whether my screen is visible?
Yes.
Yes, now screen is visible.
See my. Okay, fine. So this program describes how to connect the digital sensor in a microphone. This is a simple program. Using this one program, I am able to connect
Hey,
any
Balaji, sorry for the interruption. Are you using mic or you're using laptop or how you are speaking?
I'm using laptop, sir.
No, are you using any headset or something to speak? There could be a problem in your audio input. Maybe you might have more audio in value is coming more because you are not able to hear your sound, but we can hear your sound. See, as Madam says, you are giving wonderful input. You know, it's very hard to get this type of inputs connecting to the library and then connecting to Advocate. It's all very good, but the participants supposed to hear it. So try to reduce that volume sound or you connect with your headphone or something so that I think the throughput will be better.
Fine, sir. Now it's audible.
Audible? Are you connected with the headset or earphone?
I removed the headset, sir.
Huh?
Removed my headset. Hello? So can you able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Now it's audible.
Yes. Yeah.
So in the program, digital read. So this is the keyword. So I want to say the only thing you have to remember in the Arduino when you're using Arduino method, some registers, nothing but okay. So first register we have seen the pin mode register. Okay. So I'll teach here itself. So first register what you have seen is nothing but so pin mode. This is the first register which is used to the input output. Okay. Second that begin.
I think Balaji, I would suggest that we will pause it here. We will continue this demo part probably when we have more bandwidth and internet. Maybe even we can do it on Friday afternoon also, no problem. I think because it may be in the internet bandwidth problem there on your area. So I would suggest that we can pause it here and we will certainly go with your example. When are you be back to Chennai?
Probably this week, sir.
Okay. Yeah, we will connect again and then probably we can plan on maybe the Friday session of this thing. Okay. Because you are trying your best, but you are trying all your best, but still that voice is not coming through, then participants can hear because it is in between that wobbling is happening. So there is one more code you have to show.
Yes, sir. Okay, from next class I will plan that.
Yeah, probably what we'll do is we will try to get some internet connection or some, maybe you can go to some internet center or something. From there you can try. We will connect it, we will test it, and then we will have it on Friday. Friday we have some time. Maybe Friday afternoon you can show some demos of connecting Arduino kit. No problem. I know you have already started. We will do it on Friday afternoon.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Balaji. Okay, sorry for the little inconvenience. It is basically how much our we work with the technology, you know, that's the whole idea of making the machine intelligent, right? So sorry for the inconvenience. We will, I know, like Balaji has tried his best in all possible ways, and in fact he went from one place to another place to have the internet. Even sometime I do take a lot of other classes for the online with the bits and all, wherein I take for 200 people. So if my network, if I go with my phone hotspot, it doesn't support. So I got to have a strong Wi-Fi internet, especially Zoom may be okay, but Google takes a lot of bandwidth, especially when you are going with you know, more you know, participants and more bandwidth, and when you're showing more video and audio, it always takes much bandwidth. The tunneling, there is a problem. So my apologies for the inconvenience this might have caused. Definitely, I mean, he has given all the, you're clear about the IoT concepts. I know you already know about what are the different components. So let us try to explain one or two Arduino connections with the simple inputs by Friday. By the time we will do all the test and connectivity Friday afternoon, check to ensure that the voice is clear. We will try to go that way. Okay, so let me continue the statistics part where we have left. Am I audible to you all? Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir, yes.
Excellent.
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay, so I hope where did we leave in the morning session? This is where I think let me start presenting now. I'll pause my video so that you'll have a better clarity of what I'm doing. Yeah. Are you seeing my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is going to be this session for next of before the tea break. I will try to give some basics of statistics, how to work with statistics in Python. So I'll give you some brief. Again, we may not cover all the statistics part, but whatever is necessary, I'm going to cover today. And then after the tea break, Mr. Ranganath will try to start covering the search algorithm. Okay, so that is the plan for today. So you all know, you know, basically you might have studied the basic statistics in your +2 and in engineering, right? So normally we hear the word mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, covariance, right? So you can do all those coding with a long lines of code. Also, you can write it using Python. And there are a lot of other codes. I will show you how to use these through Python, and also how to you know, visualize the data, how to analyze the data, right? So that is very important. The purpose of the statistics is to analyze, to understand the data, right? But because I want to do artificial intelligence, I want to do machine learning algorithm, but first of all, you should understand what data you are doing, what type of statistics you are trying to infer. All those things is very important. Having said that, you all know the basic arithmetic mean, right? So sigma x divided by n, sum of all values divided by total number of items. Okay, how do I code this in Python? Okay, now I am going to send this code to all of you. I want you to try this code in your Anaconda Navigator right away. While I am trying, all participants, I want you to try this. I already have the code. I'm putting it in the chat window. Okay, so I'm just sending the simple mean calculation. Okay, just see my code. I have copied in the chat window. Could you just copy that code and then run it in your Python in the Jupyter notebook, all of you. Then I'll also show you how to do the same thing using Python package. So you need to copy this code. I put it in the chat window, right? I put the code in the code snippet in the chat window. Take it, copy paste. I'm going to do in front of you. Just take this. Copy.
Yeah, I'm monitoring the chat window, doctor. You can go ahead.
Excellent. Okay, then take that and go to the home in the Python. You just create a new Python. Okay, just copy here, paste. Okay, run. So we have, what is that we are doing? We have declared a number of values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have given a data set, the input data set, and then this is the length function. What is the total length of the array? Because this is basically 5 numbers are there, so it will print the length is 5, and then get sum. There is a sum function. So sum of n underscore num. So it is going to take each value. Suppose you are doing the same thing in your C, C++, Java. You have to write for I in 1, 2, and then you have to do you have to keep on adding the sum. But Python simplified this, right? So then the sum, get sum is a value of all this sum divided by n, which is a length. So did you all get this mean value as 3 in your screen, in your Python?
Yeah, a few of them have responded with their answer. Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Now, how do I do the same thing using package? So both Ranga and myself are explaining about multiple packages. One of the famous packages, NumPy. If you are dealing with a lot of maths and statistics, you have to use NumPy, statistics, Panda. They're all some of the famous packages, right? So what you're trying to do is import NumPy as NP. So this is the alias we are giving, short name we are giving, which can be referred inside the code, and then we are going to find the mean value, right? So let me share the code with all of you. I already have done the code in the morning. Okay, so
one suggestion to all the participants who are keen to learn the Python programming is, right now you can cut and paste this, but I would request all of you to open up a notepad and keep this code pasted in it. And after the session, as a homework, I would request all the participants to please open this up and type it. Type each and every statement.
exactly.
That is the only way that you can master a program. Otherwise, you will get results. When you start typing, you will get errors. So please type it. Right now, copy this and put it in a notepad. Copy and paste along with doctor. And then after the class, as a homework, request all of you to please type it in. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, Ranga. See, in Python, if you want to give any comment, you have to use hash. That is for comment. Okay, let me zoom my screen. So import statistics as my stat. I'm not using it right now. So now the first statement, the first thing what you need to do when you're doing this, do along with me. I already copied this code in the chat window. Okay, so what you first import the package, run. When you run, you know if there is any issue or not. Suppose if this NumPy is not loaded, suppose you're working with any AI code, NLP or text mining or whatever you're trying to do, lemmatization or a search algorithm, the first thing you need to confirm is, am I importing all these packages correctly, or the import is working fine? Sometime you may get an error. Suppose I'm importing like this, right? No module named NumPy found. There is something called a turtle, that is for graphical code. So whenever I'm trying to do this, look at this module not found error. Import num as NP, no module named NUMP. So the best step what you need to do, always first go step by step, right? So NumPy, and now I'm running it, this error will be gone. So check line by line. Okay, so now I've imported this package. What's the next step I have to do? Now I am going to define my data set, right? So in the previous program, we have defined the data set as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I am defining my data set. So I'm just using one, I can change this value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now what I'm doing, the same data set I've defined, instead of writing this much long code, I don't need anything. Simply I say, what is NP here? It's an alias for this NumPy, np.mean data set, right? So now if I just run this, it will print the mean. Please do this code, all of you. So this is the first statistics which you all should know in Python. Basically, you should know how to work with mean, median, mode, variance, standard deviation, covariance, and a couple of binnings and all, okay, and then displaying the values. Did you do this, all of you? At least some few, yes, Ranga?
Yes, yes, many have replied. They have done it.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So now we have done with the mean, then we go to the median. So median, you all know, we just take that value divided by n plus 1 divided by 2, right? So if it is odd number, we'll go in the middle. If it's an even number, we take this, 2 and then divided by that value, right? So that's what we do with the median. So for example, the code is, this is a lengthy code, okay. Now we are also sorting the number. What we are trying to do is we are trying to divide by 2. We are trying to find out whether it is even or odd, whether we are getting any remainder or not, right? If it is, the remainder is there, okay, we are trying to get the length. See, what is this 5? 5 is the odd number. 5 is not an even number, right? So you won't get this, right? So else median is, if it is a even number, we are just going to do the n by 2. Median 1 is n by 2. Median 2 is n by 2 by minus 1. And then median is median 1 plus median 2. This is normally how you calculate. If it is an odd number, we just say n divided by n number divided by 2, right? So let's do this code, and then we will also try to execute in the Python, right? Using package. Now I am sending you the code for the median.
Doctor, after you explain this mean and median, I would like to ask a question to the participants.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, now I have sent you the median code. This is how the median code works. And I'm going to run this median code here in my system running. So now what is the median for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, they have replied. One person has replied. 2, they're replying as 3.
Okay, suppose if I give this data set, comma, 6. If I give 6, now what happened? It's an even number. So when there's an even number, these 2 need to be added, divided by 2, right? So what is median now? 3.5, right? Because
Yeah.
3 plus 4, 7 divided by 2, 3.5.
Yeah, a lot of people are responding.
Excellent. So now one thing, and then you can take the question, Ranga. So now if I wanted to do the same thing with the median, very simple. I don't have to do big calculation, heap, reminder.
Voice lost, doctor. Can't hear you. Doctor? Venkat, we can't hear you, Venkat.
The mean, np.median dataset will print the median. Just run it. So because I printed the last one, I can print this. Suppose I'm just going to print the, I'm just adding one more value, 5. Okay. So now, so this is 3 plus 5, 1, 2, 3. Why it has given 3.5? Any idea? I think this is correct.
Can you please share this?
Yeah, you want to say something, Ranga?
Can you please share this code to them? You didn't share this code.
Oh yeah, median. Yeah, just you have to, with the previous code, they have to add that median, np.median hyphen, open bracket data underscore set. They already have that code. No, if you want the full code, I will share the full code again.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Like, give them some time to think.
Sure. And then there is one more thing called mode. What is mode or mode? It's most frequently occurring value or score in the given data set. So here, if you see this, let me put the mouse pointer. So the 5 is more occurrence. Okay, so the 5 is the mod. Okay, so you can just use this code. Now instead of that, you can simply use that mod function mode and then give the array. I'll share the code with you so you can run and check. So now I'm giving you one code. You can just try to run this. So I'm going to import this package. I'll share the code. All of you want to try this. Okay, the code for mod. Okay, can you just try that mod function, and then I'm going to number. I want you to try and give me an answer. For this one, what is the result you will get? What is a mod?
We request all participants to try the hands-on, because we're getting responses only from a few. So we request, we have 104 people. We request all of you to please try it and respond. This is a great opportunity, because I know you being professors and research scholars will never have time to, get into anything specific and try to read them. You will not have time. So since you have decided to spend the time here, we would appreciate if you can try it out. So there's a lot of response. Error coming. What error are you getting today, madam?
They may not have
error, madam. You're getting an error. Post the error, madam.
I think they may not have.
They are saying 2. Yeah, all of them got 2. Okay.
Yeah, because this 2 is more occurrence. So 3, 4, 5, 6. The majority is right. So then the next one.
Doctor. One thing, because you're using MyStat. Madam, did you make sure that you did that import statistics as MyStat? Then it will work, madam.
She might have commented it out. I think it was commented probably.
Yeah, just remove the comma. Yes, madam. Please remove that. It should work.
It was commented.
That is one thing for all the doctor. Can you please show the screen?
Yeah.
Just to explain that. Yeah. See, ladies and gentlemen, you need to just remember that what we said in the morning, as in the first line, import statistics as MyStat. That statistics package has got this mode, that code, whatever doctor wrote, has already been done and been stuffed into this MyStat. So if you call this mode function, it will do all the work. So whenever you have to use the specific functions, you need to make sure that you have imported that library. If the library, if you say import statistics as MyStat, some of the libraries might say not found. You will have to do a pip install, which we will show. So that is the hierarchy. The library has to be installed for this version of Python, and then you will have to import that before you can use it. Thank you. I need to ask a question if you're done. One quick question on this mean, median, to the professor. I think they will answer this very easily. But I'd like to ask this question. Can anybody tell me the difference between the mean and the median? Is there any difference? Where we should use median, where should we use mean? Don't have to think as a statistician. Yeah, mean is average. Very good, Professor Vikas Dubey. And then why do we need median? Where can median be useful than a mean? Yes, Saranya madam, center point. Okay, your answers are all correct. I want to measure the center of a numerical data set. Very well, Tanuja Ramanyan, very well said. See, basically, since that's being the middlemost layer, I think doctor would be explaining, I think, there is a concept called as outliers. Are you going to speak about it, doctor?
Yeah, I will show one small code, but later on.
Outlier, when doctor shows this outlier, if your data set has an outlier, let's say, for example, you're going to try to buy a share. So what do they tell you? They say there's an average return when you go try to buy a blue chip stock or even your mutual funds. If you look at it, they are talking about the mean. They are saying the average return for 5 years is 12%. So what it means is, if there is an outlier and there is 1 year it performed 50% and the rest of the years it just performed 2%, still the average will be high. So whenever there is an outlier situation, we will be going with the median imputation. There is a technique called imputation. We'll be talking about all that today and tomorrow. I just thought, even though a lot of you might be aware of this, I want to bring a connect to it. Thanks, Doctor. Proceed.
Yeah. Okay. So in continuing, actually, Mr. Ranga has given, complimented with some input. So basically, that set of, the data, how disperse the data between we call it as a lower quartile and upper quartile. So basically, we use this for outlier is also called as anomaly. So basically, there is a mean value. You all know that the normal distribution, right? So whenever the data, when you're looking at forming the cluster, like say I have this much of data, I may find this median, right? Where I'm going to go lower quartile or upper quartile. Okay. So there is a famous technique called box plot analysis. So when I get a time, I will explain you probably maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow when I'm going to explain you, I will draw a box plot. Today also I'm going to show you how that box plot work. So when you get a chance, you try to go and then look at the lower quartile, upper quartile, and then there is something called 5-number summary. I have the code. I'll just put it there in the chat window. There is something called 5-point number summary. So I wish you try to go there. That will be your homework. You are asking some homework. No, the first homework for today is you go and look at how to draw a box plot in Python, number one, and how to represent the 5-point number summary in Python, right? Suppose I've given some data, I've given some inputs, and then how to represent the 5-point. I can explain you right now. If I explain, it is going to take some time. So rather, I want you guys to do some homework. Tomorrow, you can share your code and explain that 5-point summary, and in fact, you can draw the box plot also. Now I'll be showing you how to.
I'll just give a clue. I'll just give a clue for that.
Yeah.
Carry on. I will just give a clue for that homework. Okay. You carry on, Doctor. You can,
yeah.
Participant, please look at the chat. I have sent a clue for the homework.
Good. Excellent. Okay. So now the next one is we are going to look at the other parts of the statistics. So we have seen mean, median, mode, okay, and then the famous one, standard deviation and variance, because we wanted to, often we want to find out the observations, how deviated from the arithmetic mean. So we will find the standard deviation and look at the variance, right? So this is the bigger code of standard deviation and variance calculation in Python. Very simply, you can just call this function. Yes,
so your screen. Your screen.
Oh my God. Sorry, ma'am.
This time we didn't see your beautiful face as well. So.
Ranga has the thing about show. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just talking about standard deviation.
Still not visible, Doctor. PPT is not visible yet.
Really?
It just says you are presenting to everyone. So you probably need to do an alt tab.
No, it is presenting.
You have to pin it.
Oh, really?
Just do alt tab. I think you are in that. No. You are in the screen. We are seeing your screen.
1 second. 1 second. Let me try one more time. Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So standard deviation, you all know, It's a square root of arithmetic mean. Basically, we are trying to find out how much is that observations are deviated from the mean value, and variance is the square root of the square of the standard deviation, right? So how you calculate this in the normal mode, you can do all these things and then try to do a sum and then find out length and apply the square root, all those things. Rather, you can simply use the function. Like in Excel, if you go, you can do this correlation, standard deviation. Similarly, you can simply use this function, STDEV, because that is available in the statistics package. When you go for mode, when you go for standard deviation variance, you have to import the statistics package, right? So I will share the code with you. I want you to try to find the standard deviation variance for a simple value. Now I'm sharing the code in the chat window. Yeah, I've sent you a code. I want you to tell me the answer. I'm not going to run the code. I want you to tell me the answer for that. What is the standard deviation you have got? What is the variance? Sorry, this is a mistake there. Variance.
We are getting 2 answers, 3 answers. Variance standard deviation 1.5, variance 2.5.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Kudos to them. 1.58 and then 2.5. Excellent. Good.
A lot of responses. People are responding.
Excellent.
So as a reward, you want to give them a break for this, for being
Oh,
late?
sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think we'll give them
break from 3:15.
yeah. We'll give them like a 15 to 15 minutes break. When they come back, there is something interesting for them. Like say, I will show a nice way of explaining the box plot. This is what we are talking about, right? So we'll see some more statistics, and then Mr. Ranga will continue the searching. Okay. So how much time you wanted to give for the break, madam?
15 minutes, sir.
Yeah. Now it's exactly
3:30.
3:15. All of us assemble at 3:30. Okay.
3:30. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Video. You can pause the recording.
Yes, yes.